Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. I just want to dive into Monero. I just want to say thank you to each and every single one of you for your support on a daily basis. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So I read an article in 2008. Look at this, 2018. I remember reading this article. Monero headed to 18K, right? So Monero headed to 18K, and it says here that a real winner from the analysis is Monero, currently the 11th largest cryptocurrency, which Satis predicts could be worth $18,000 within the next 5 years. This represents a more than 18,200% increase from its present value, which stands just over $98. So I remember reading this, and this is one of the reasons why I did start stockpiling Monero, and I've been dollar cost averaging into Monero for a couple of years now, since 2018, since I read this article, to be honest with you. And that's what you do. You buy things in bear markets, okay? You buy things when there's blood on the streets, okay, with the anticipation that it goes up on the other side. But anyway, I'm just going to show you this was a particular article that I do remember reading in 2018 that got me into Monero and made me sort of look at it, looked at the charts as well, and thought, this actually looks quite feasible. So I'm just going to show you right now why this is actually feasible, this 18K forecast for Monero, by 2023, basically in the next couple of years. I'll show you right now. So this is the weekly time frame on Kraken, okay, and not necessarily like this year, next year, whatever, but within the next 5 years, like that article says, which will bring us to 2023, we could actually be at 18K, and I'm going to show you exactly why, okay? Now, as you're fully aware, there is anticipation here that the cryptocurrency is entering something called a super cycle, where we sort of come up, come down a little bit, go up, come down a little bit, and it has a slow walk to projections, okay? But your corrections are not going to be as great as previously anticipated with the 4-year cycles of crypto. You're fully aware of that now, okay, that we might not go through these whopping corrections and these whopping retracements that crypto's used to, the 99% corrections. I mean, Monero here, straight off the bat from that previous cycle high of the last bull run, you can see it went down 94%. You've got a correction here as well. I'm going to ignore that wick, but from there down to there, that was a whopping 96% correction as well. If we have entered the bear here, which a lot of analysts predict that we have, from here, 94% correction brings us back down to roughly down there at 23 cents, $23. But I don't project that for Monero. I think it's an evolving project, and I think it's moving forward, especially in the privacy space as well. There is a lot of FUD around Monero, isn't there? But right now I'm going to show you, okay? So how I'll do it on the channel. Drop my fibs in, and that gives you projections, okay? So you can see in the previous bull market, we've got the bull market, the cycle high basically in 2014. Its inception, fell into a bear market, load out, pick back up, and with that we've got the buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid here, way back in March 2016. Came through all the fibs, look, and it even ran in like we've done here. Look, we've ran into a level of resistance 1414, hold it. All the fibs basically, gone through them all. Beautiful. At each point you ran into resistance. Look, do you see that? Roll back to support. Do you see that? And you eventually got to the 2.272 at $372 before entering the bear market. And with the bear market, you've retraced. Okay, you retraced to the 1.618 where you held its support. You had a little corona dump down here, but it didn't quite come to the 1414. But with that, you start to pick up, okay, and you're coming back up, and you've actually broken the previous cycle high for Monero. But that's where we had that May crash, and right now we've had a bit of a dump, and right now we're looking at continuation, providing we can hold support. So you can see in that previous cycle, we did meet the 2.272 at $372. Do you see that? So let me just drop that out right now, okay, because in this cycle, we're going through a very, very similar thing, okay? And like I said to you, this is our projection for Monero, and this is why you could potentially be looking at an 18K Monero. Not necessarily within the next year, because like I said to you earlier in the video, I said potentially we're entering a super cycle here, where we don't have them like mania parabolic run-ups, or we have them massive whopping corrections. We just have a slow crawl through levels of resistance and support before eventually getting to these forecasts right here. So technically, the most probable fib extension here is the 1618. So you will be looking at a $2,747 price tag for Monero in this bull run, okay, in this cycle, basically. So that's an 814% from here. But I do, like I said to you, I do expect we're going through some kind of super cycle here for crypto, where we sort of come up and come down and come up, and it's slow, and you know, we don't necessarily shoot off into space, so to speak, and we eventually get to this target at a 2.272 up at $18,000, which ties up with that analysis from 2018. Do you see that? So you could be looking at a whopping trade here for Monero, and this is why I always say to you, you know, regardless, dollar cost average into these things, okay? Because people will put money in and then they'll see it go down and they shit themselves. But you know, I was buying it all the way down here. I mean, I remember reading the article in 2018. Look, we're around about here, and we had that capitulation, and I was buying here, you know, and I was not selling down here. I was still buying like week in, week out, month in, month out, and I was still buying all this capitulation, and I'll still continue to buy Monero and stockpile it, because this is where it's going to, because it works in waveforms, okay? So until we lose market structure and into the bear market, we're still looking at continuation, and you're looking at its beautiful waveforms, look, you know, up to these forecasts and doing something like that, where eventually the crypto markets becomes extremely liquid and less volatile, and you don't see these whopping upside down and whopping corrections and huge up impulses. It just goes sideways and crap and boring and stagnant, like the S&P 500 or gold. You know, it just moves 0.5% in a day, and this is where these cryptocurrencies are eventually getting to. So yeah, Monero is a good little hedge, basically. It's a good little forecast moving forward. But again, just because it's laid down and that guy spoke about it in 2018 and I can see it in the charts, does not guarantee that it's going to get there. Nothing I say is financial advice, and nothing I say is, you know, a certainty. And just because it's impulsively moved up before in a bull market, where you broke the fibs, okay, and you ran into resistance of each fib and come back to support, resistance, support, blah blah blah, you know, and you've done that now, you've run into the high, come back to support on the EMAs, holding them for continuation. It does not necessarily mean that, you know, 100% guarantee that you're going to get to these forecasts in this bull run, but you know, this is why you do dollar cost average, because you can see pretty much here as well what you've got. Look, you've got a beautiful cup and handle pattern straight off the bat. Come back, you created your handle when you've had this correction in May, you've broken out a level of resistance already, you're starting to come back. If you have another correction, so be it. If you come up and you break this high right here, you're looking at a lovely little long up, you know, break that high, you're looking at this for Xmr, where you come up to the 1272, you know, you're looking at £1,000, $1,000 per Monero token, and you really are getting the party started for Monero right there, okay? So, you know, some technical analysis, that's what you're looking at, but off the bat here, a new impulsive wave off this corrective wave down, which you've done just go off that low there. You could be looking at the 1618, bringing you up to the 1272. Let me drop that one out for you. So your next impulsive wave, which you are actually forming right now, is bringing you up to the $1,000 mark. Do you see that? So it's all about breaking this high here. If you start to see Monero come up and beat 524, you will be looking at a $1,000 price tag for a Monero token right there, okay? Providing you hold these key levels of support, you can see you've come up, you've got a little bit overextended from the EMAs just there, the 20. This is a weekly. You know, if you was to have a correction, you could see where you could fall back into it as support straight off the bat. If there was a correction here, you know, around about 8 or 9%, you could fall into that support. Worst case, you have a larger correction, 25%, you roll back into the 55 as support. You know, you're looking good, providing you can hold support for continuation. And hopefully right here, we've got this ABC correction done as well. Look, A, B, C, bottomed out, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, wherever it goes, you know, and up to these price predictions. Eventually, coming up to 2,747, you know, where we might roll back and have a small little bear market, and then into the bear super cycle, where we could be looking at an 18K Monero token price tag, you know, in the future. Who knows? But from here right now, you know, that is a further appreciation of around about 6,173% for Monero. But this particular impulsive wave here, if we break this high just there, you are looking at a 416% long up to there to $2,747 per token for Monero in this bull run. So yeah, it's looking good, providing you can hold support. Okay, hold support, you're looking good for continuation. There is also always the chance of a bear market, like, you know, and I always show you that as well. This is the low that you can't afford to see Monero loss. Okay, if you see Monero come down and it starts to lose this low, that's your bear market just there, okay? $180. So far, so good. It's doing relatively well. Let's have a look on the daily. You know, you're coming up to the image, falling back into Ethereum at the 20th support, pretty much like what Bitcoin's doing, okay? That's Monero. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.